Hi, Ken. This is David. Okay. I wanted to get a couple of things down on video that pertain to different laws that govern different things in Heartbeat City. One of those laws is what I'll call Spencer's Law, named after Spencer W. Kimball. Spencer's Law suggests that every member of God's family is important, the good and the bad, and each of them has value. So I'll call that Spencer's Law. And Thomas's Law, which I get from Thomas, Doubting Thomas, and I get it from President Monson. I call it Thomas's Law. It would be that would be connected with Spencer's Law. And that law is that you might doubt that we need everybody, and that to God, every single one of his family, whether good or bad, good or evil, is needed. And so you'll find that we need them. And then Russell, what I'll call Nelson's Law, would be that those are facts, scriptural facts, and they're laws of God that are indisputable, and they just are functioning constantly, and we need to learn how to govern ourselves within those laws of God that govern us and that govern life and that govern how things work. And so like for example, if we didn't have the scriptural records of Nephi or of Daniel or of Joseph of Egypt, we wouldn't have much of our history today, and we wouldn't be able to communicate and have stories of faith and inspiration to guide us. And so because Daniel lived, and because Joseph lived, and because Nephi lived, we have those we have the history, and then we have those the inspiration that comes from those men that chose to live their lives a certain way. And so some of that inspiration is completely unique to Daniel and completely unique to Joseph. And while other men may be able to do certain things in certain ways, you need to have certain men that are a little bit unique in some ways that can guide and give direction. The same thing applies with Jesus. Had he never been alive, we wouldn't have his atonement and his life and resurrection to draw inspiration from. And so all of those things are unique, and they're all governed by law. And the way that we interact and communicate with one another, there's actually laws at the heart of what we do. And so when we do things with Heartbeat City, we need to remember all these different laws, or study them and meditate upon them and learn how they all function, and then learn how to learn to communicate in harmony with those types of laws. So, like, I'll give you another example. Like, a son of Aaron may be able to communicate about sons of Aaron things really easily, but he may not be able to communicate about Daniel things very easily, or he may not be able to communicate about Joseph things very easily, and vice versa. Like, Joseph may not be able to explain sons of Aaron's things very easily, or he may not be able to explain Jacob's things very easily, right? And so those laws are interconnected, and we need each other, and that's all in harmony with Spencer's Law and Thomas's Law and Nelson's Law. And so all of that is true to life, and we want to make sure we study them and incorporate them into what we do with Heartbeat City. And I wanted to get that down because I was still thinking about my dream that I had last night with my brother Matthew in it. And when I had just about cut off his head with my machete for him cutting into my backpack and my backpack pouch with his scissors. And so, there's certain things that we need to practice communicating with one another, and each of us has a unique place in Heartbeat City and in the circle of life, and we each have unique gifts and talents, and each one communicates different things, and we want to learn how to use them at different times and in different ways, and that's how things work in the circle of life. So I wanted to get that on record, and I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.